Joseph Stella. To get us started, Joseph, tell us about your childhood.
Well, I was the fourth of 5 brothers, and that was not easy. I was the awkward one and was called Pepino for most of my life until about age 30.
Wow, how different was it for you to come from a small town to America?
It was very hard. I was sent over by my parents when I was 18, and they sent me to become a doctor. So I went to medical school and was helped out by my brother, who had come a few years earlier. It was hard.
How did you transition from medical school into art school?
Well, while I was going to pharmacy school, I also attended a school at the New York School of Art, and that was when I started, I guess. But I was still attending pharmacy school at the time.
What year was this?
It was in 1898, I think.
And how long did you study under William Chase Merritt for?
I studied under him for about 2 years at the New York School of Art. He was the director. And in my second year, I was even awarded a scholarship.
Oh, okay. So when was the first time you were really recognized as a fine artist?
It was about a year after The Outlook published 7, I think, of my Ellis Island immigrant drawings. And then the American Society of Art showed my old man painting in their annual exhibition.
Tell us about the years you spent back in Europe.
Well, I went back to Europe because I didn't feel quite at home in America. So I went back and I visited Rome and Florence and Naples, and then I went to Paris, and spending that time in a different culture just really opened my eyes and made me realize what I did like about America. And I learned about different styles of art. I went to a futurist exhibition at the Gallery Bernheim-Jeune in Paris.
Wow. And what did you do after you came back from Europe?
It was my stay in Europe that really had me looking at American ingenuity, and I became very intrigued by it, and I started working on pictures of the New York City atmosphere.
How did the Brooklyn Bridge become your main inspiration?
I lived on the east side looking at Brooklyn and the Brooklyn Bridge for a long time, and I had traveled across the bridge and seen the people of Brooklyn and seen the people of New York, and they just really inspired me. They were all working so hard, and even though a lot of them were immigrants, they still they had that push, and it was very inspiring to me.
So, tell me, do you believe that technology in the modern world is a good or bad thing?
Well, I think technology is all about how it's used. I think it can be used for good and for beauty. Like the bridge, for example, it's beautiful, and it was made from technology, and that's why I draw it, because it just shows how humans and the human spirit can be used to make beautiful things.
Can you tell me more about your art, or what is your thought process while creating art?
Well, I brought a piece with me today, actually. It is called
what a treat.
the byproduct plant. And over here on this side, you can see a factory. It is the factory. And you can see the lights and the skyline, and it just very much reminds me of the city and how bright and vibrant it is, and the people in the city as well. For a lot of my pieces, I try to involve an act or a movement, as I call them, which are skyscrapers, the port, the bridge, and the electric lights of Broadway. I also try to include a few secondary themes, like searchlights, theater lights, hallways, subway corridors, and cable castings. In this piece, you can't necessarily see all of the elements, but in what I'm working on right now, but it's not quite ready to be viewed, it incorporates almost all of them, and it will be probably my final piece of this set. But I'm not quite ready to share it yet.
Okay, well, our time is almost up, but is there anything else you would like to add?
I would just like to say thank you so much for having me today and for giving me the chance to talk about my work.
It really is my pleasure. Well, there you have it, folks. Joseph Stella, the great painter of New York City and the Brooklyn Bridge.
Thank you.